Do you know what it feels like to grow up as a ghost in your own house? Not dead. Not invisible. Just erased. I was 8 years old the first time I realized my existence meant less than my brother's smile. He shoved me down the staircase. My wrists snapped like dry wood, and when our parents arrived, he cried, blamed me, and they believed him. I was punished for being difficult. That was the script of my childhood. He sinned, I suffered. And the worst part? Everyone pretended it was normal. His name was Ethan, the golden child, the clever liar, the boy who could spit venom and still be praised for having spirit. Me? I was too much. Too emotional. Too dramatic. Too loud. Too sensitive. When I cried, I was making a scene. When I spoke up, I was ruining the peace. By 13, I built a fortress out of silence. Locked doors. Headphones. Homework lit by a single lamp because books were safer than people. Meanwhile, Ethan walked through life like it belonged to him, borrowing money from Dad's wallet, skipping class, disrespecting Mom, and it was all brushed off with that one phrase I grew to hate. He's just being a boy. By 17, my body was still under their roof, but my soul had already left. One night, I packed 2 bags, walked out, and didn't look back. No one chased me. No one called. It was like they had been waiting for me to disappear. I slept on couches, scraped by on shifts that paid in crumpled bills, and eventually ended up in the back of a rusted truck with a leaky camper shell. It reeked of mildew and loneliness, but it was mine. The first thing that was ever mine. There's a strange kind of clarity that comes when you hit rock bottom. You learn what hunger feels like when you stretch one meal across 3 days. You learn how to shower at a gym without meeting anyone's eyes. You learn how to disappear so no one asks questions. And then, somehow, you learn how to breathe again. Out of sadness, but because I'd finally bought something no one could take from me. My house. My home. For the first time in my life, silence felt like freedom. Until the day my family showed up. Ethan. His wife, Clara. My parents, smiling like tourists on a vacation. They never asked. Never knocked. Just walked in, touching walls, opening cabinets, commenting on how spacious it all was for just one person. The next afternoon, Ethan came alone. Sat at my kitchen table like it belonged to him. And then, with a smirk I'd seen all my life, he said, "This place makes sense for us. Clara's pregnant again. We'll take the master bedroom. You can move back into the camper. You were comfortable there before, right?" That was the moment something in me snapped, not violently, but like a chain finally breaking. I looked him dead in the eye and said one word I had never been allowed to say before. No. He didn't understand. He thought I was negotiating. I wasn't. And when I refused, he forged a lease, broke my lock, and moved his boxes inside while I was at work. I came home to find Clara stacking dishes in my kitchen like she'd always lived there. I called the police. I showed proof. And for the first time in my life, authority chose me. They were forced out that night, humiliated. I thought that was the end. It wasn't. I posted the video online. The forged papers, Clara slapping my phone from my hands, Ethan stammering excuses. And suddenly, the silence of my family cracked wide open. Old relatives reached out. Now it makes sense. We always wondered why you vanished. My parents begged me to drop it. For the family. But this time, I wasn't the ghost child. I looked them in the eye and said, I am doing this for the family. For the part of it that never tried to erase me. And then came the unraveling. Rumors. Whispers. A paternity test that proved Clara's baby wasn't Ethan's. Police at their doorstep. Divorce papers. Clara gone, vanished. Ethan left with children he barely knew how to raise and silence he couldn't charm his way out of. And one night he came back. But this time, he didn't come with a smirk or a demand. He came with his son, standing small and scared in the shadows. His voice broke as he said, I ruined everything. I see it now. I let them destroy you, and I let her destroy us. I didn't forgive him. Not then. Maybe not ever. But I let the boys sleep in the camper, the same battered shell that once sheltered me. the same place that taught me to survive when no one else cared. And in that moment, I realized survival had come full circle. The same walls that once held my loneliness now held a child who needed safety. I don't know what family means anymore. But I know this. Sometimes the only way to protect what you've built is to say the word you were never allowed to say as a child.
No.
And if you've ever been the ghost in your own home, if you've ever been erased by the people who are supposed to love you, then you know exactly how powerful that word can be. If this story hit you, leave a comment. Tell me if you've ever had to draw your own line in the sand. Because sometimes silence isn't peace, it's surrender. And I will never surrender again.